Breaking news tonight, the Justice Department moments ago filing an appeal in the transportation mask case. The Biden administration now officially wants you to put a mask back on. Don't they realize the genie's sort of out of the bottle already at this point? Maybe not. I'm Guy Benson, in for Kennedy tonight. Thanks for watching. For the last 3 days, the whole country's been talking about the reversal of the federal transportation mask mandate. Many were cheering the return of personal freedom. Others, especially on the left, furious that a Trump-appointed judge issued this ruling. Watch.
Perhaps that's the mark of an inexperienced judge.
I don't think this ruling makes a lot of legal sense.
And she obviously is clueless.
This decision is going to single-handedly accelerate cases throughout the U.S.
And it's not only not the right time, it's a little early, but it's not even the right manner in which these mandates were overturned.
It's never the right time for these people. That's the secret. Let me say this very slowly for the people in the back. Nobody has banned masks. If you want to wear one, wear one. Even the president seemed to agree.
Mr. President, should people continue to wear masks on planes?
That's up to them.
Yes. But unfortunately and naturally, the White House felt the need to clean that up because, God forbid, this president say something that actually makes sense.
The president was answering the question quite literally, which means right now, as you know, we are not implementing the mask mandate because of the court order, which we disagree with. To be clear, we are recommending everyone wear masks on planes. That is what the CDC is recommending. That is the public health guidance we are following.
And lots of gestures there from Circle Back. All right, so here's where things get interesting. The White House said they wouldn't necessarily appeal the ruling unless the CDC said that masks, yes, should still be worn on planes. And that's exactly what happened just about an hour ago. CDC backed an appeal of this recent decision, and now the DOJ has followed through, as we said at the top. Now, what's the science behind this? And what do the politics look like? The panel is here to discuss. Townhall.com editor and Fox News contributor, my friend, Katie Pavlich. Also, media reporter at The Hill and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Last but not least, 2020 Libertarian Party vice presidential candidate Spike Cohen. All right, Katie, I'd like to start with you on this. I saw a lot of the blue check marks on social media today circulating a poll from the Associated Press that said 56% of Americans, a majority, want this mandate to be in place. They want to wear the masks on planes. Only 24% of us, a fraction, a fringe apparently, are against that mandate. My thought is this: if the Democrats and the White House actually believe those numbers are true, it should be a big political boon for them to fight it every step of the way and bring the restrictions back and everything. Go for it. Have at it. I encourage them to do it. I wonder what you think.
I think that's true. I think you're right. But I did my own poll because I was on an airplane when the mandate was struck down and people took the masks off their faces, and the flight attendants celebrated that they were essentially free from this arbitrary, non-scientific, ridiculous mandate that continues. The administration is arguing that they just need 15 more days to make sure that they have enough data to show that they don't need masks. And if you look at the CDC statement that they just put out, they are now arguing that airplanes are not well-ventilated modes of transportation, and therefore we should all continue to wear masks. That is a joke. We've known for 2 years, been told that airplanes are some of the safest places to be from COVID because of the filtration systems they have and because of the air. And so when it comes to what this actually means for Americans, I was also on a flight 2 weeks ago where the flight attendants had to harass a family with a 3-year-old and a toddler because a 3-year-old and a small baby who was crying because the 3-year-old couldn't keep the mask on and was uncomfortable, and they threatened to kick them off of the plane. So that is what the administration is standing up for here when they want the DOJ to go back to court to reinstate this mandate with no scientific backing whatsoever.
Yep, and they can claim that it's popular. I would love for them to test that proposition. I think the Republican Party would say run ads, run on this issue, and let's see how the chips fall in November. Spike, here's an interesting legal aspect to this. I feel like they felt pressure to file this challenge. You got the DOJ now following the lead from CDC. The whole alphabet soup is in on this at this point. But it kind of strikes me as though the Biden administration is stuck in this bind where they don't really want to lose the case, because losing is embarrassing and bad, but they don't necessarily want to win it either, because if masks come back on, there are going to be a lot of very unhappy people, and this becomes a live political issue yet again. And I think it doesn't play well for them, clearly. What do you think?
Well, and not only would it look bad for them, but it would set a precedent that would make it harder or even impossible for them to issue future mandates, mask mandates, and other mandates in the future. So this is actually, I'm surprised that they're fighting this. Far be it for me to think that the Biden administration would do something that's politically stupid, but this can inevitably blow up in their face. I also don't believe the polling. I've done my own informal polling. The last time I was on the plane, there was still a mask mandate in effect. And at any given time when I would turn around, anywhere from a third to half of the passengers were not wearing their masks. They were just sort of perpetually holding that same bag of pretzels for 2 hours to make sure. If it were true that 56% of Americans and only supported the mask mandates and only a small number of them didn't, then not only would there not be a need for that matter for the mask mandate, because the vast majority of people would be wearing them, but also we wouldn't be seeing so many people celebrating the end of it in large numbers. And as Katie was alluding to, on a modern airliner, the air recirculates through multiple HEPA filters every 2 to 3 minutes.
Known for 2 years. That was her point. And there have not been big super spreader events on these airplanes.
No.
And by the way, the U.S. Senate voted on this exact issue more than a month ago. 57-40 was the vote in favor of taking it away. I wonder if the senators have a better sense of the politics than this one poll. Quickly, Joe, the media coverage of this seems like journalists, many of them are almost like personally wounded by this judge's decision. They're posting their videos and their photographs of themselves defiantly wearing masks as if masks have been banned, which, as I explained very slowly for them, that is not the case. Your thought on the media coverage so far?
Well, I love Valerie Jarrett, right? And she put up a picture on Twitter saying, I don't care what any non-scientists say, I'm going to wear a mask in the car when I'm alone, because this is who I am. In other words, it's virtue signaling, right? Even though when she went to Obama Fest in Martha's Vineyard last year, she wasn't wearing a mask with 400 people in a tent. But hey, that's fine. Look, it's so fun to watch some other hosts on other networks, Guy, during their shows, indoor maskless, preaching about this. Or then you see pictures of them dining out while maskless, right? Or posting pictures of themselves maskless while vacationing in places like Florida, screaming about this ruling. Because that's not hypocritical or anything like that. Overall, poll after poll shows that more than 70% of Americans want the country to return to normal and learn to live with COVID, since it can't be contained, it can't be controlled, it can't be stopped, like this president promised he would do. Stop and control it during the campaign, Guy.
I agree with that, Joe. Just one fact check. As far as I'm concerned, during this hour, on this network, on this program, there are no other hosts on any other networks. It's just us together.